Thank you, Paula. Bienvenidos todos al servicio dominical de los Unitarios Universalistas de San Miguel de Allende. Welcome everyone to this Sunday morning service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of San Miguel de Allende. Estamos contentos de estar juntos via Zoom y aquí en la aldea. We're so glad to be together via Zoom and here at the aldea. And I'm especially glad because I've been with you only on Zoom for a year. So your faces are beautiful. Likewise. Este es un lugar donde podemos traer todo nuestro ser imperfecto y ser aceptados tal como somos, con amor y amistad. This is a place where we can bring our whole imperfect selves and be accepted as we are with love and friendship. Me llamo Cathy Cánepa y voy a servir como líder de servicio esta mañana. I'm Cathy Cánepa, and I'll be our service leader today and lead the walking labyrinth. You'll hear more about it later. Also, a shout out to all the Zoomers. We look around and our community is much bigger than the people you see in this room. Every week, there's a large group on Zoom, which I have been part of for the past year. And hi guys, I will see you next week on Zoom. So please see your order of service to learn about all the participants in today's service. So before we enter our worship time, we like to welcome visitors and share a few announcements. Antes de adentrarnos en nuestro servicio, nos gustaría dar la bienvenida a nuestros visitantes y tenemos algunos anuncios. After the service, those on Zoom, please stay connected to visit with others in the main room. And for those who are with us here at the aldea, join us for coffee and cookies. Después del servicio, aquellos en Zoom están invitados a quedarse para una plática y discusión. Y si hay visitantes, escriban su nombre en chat para que podamos darles la bienvenida después del servicio. E invitamos a aquellos que están con nosotros aquí en la aldea a que se nos unan para café y galletas. Now, if we have any visitors here today, if you are willing, would you stand so that we can see who you are and personally greet you and ask you to coffee after? Si tenemos visitantes aquí el día de hoy, por favor, ponerse de pie. Take a good look, memorize, and go find them at coffee. Zoomers, remember next week when time changes in the US and Canada, Mexico does not adopt daylight savings, so figure out what time you need to Zoom in. I don't know what time zone you're in. Okay. We do record our Sunday in-person services, and you can find a link to these on our website, and you can see that in your order of service. Tenemos traducciones del sermón en español. Si a alguien gustaría tener una traducción, por favor, alza la mano. No? Well, if anybody is trying to improve their Spanish and you would like to follow along, you can raise your hand and get it. Okay. Sophia, where are you?
I'm here.
Okay, you're going to have to. We got 4, so divide them up. We only have 4 copies. Okay. And while you go to the website to check out various events sponsored by the fellowship, know that these are for friends and visitors, not just members. And you'll also get information on how to become a member. So now, let's settle in for worship time as we light our chalice which is a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Let this light remind us of the sacred flame of life that blazes within, constant yet ever-changing, burning yet never consumed. Inner light of soul and spirit, lead our minds to greater understanding, lead our hearts to love more fully, and lead our hands to create justice. Que esta luz nos recuerde la llama sagrada de la vida que arde en nuestro interior, constante y sin embargo siempre cambiante, ardiente y sin embargo nunca consumida. Luz interior del alma y del espíritu, que guíe nuestras mentes hacia una mayor comprensión, que guíe nuestros corazones a amar más plenamente y que guíe nuestras manos a crear justicia. Our opening words are from Maria Popova. Narrow the aperture of your attention enough to take in any one thing fully, and it becomes a portal to everything. Narrow the aperture of your attention enough to take in any one thing fully, and it becomes a portal to everything. Now please rise in body or spirit for hymn 346. It is in your hymnal, if you can't see the screen, and we are just going to sing verses 1, 2, and 4. Okay? 346 in your hymnal, and we will sing verses 1, 2, and 4. Standing while Sebastian comes to the front. Is Jerome here today? Okay, then Sebastian is going to lead us in reciting this fellowship's unique covenant, which is a promise and defines the community that we aspire to be.
We respect the interdependent web of life and work for a just and peaceful world. We encourage the search for truth and meaning, strive for compassion in our relationships, and seek values that will benefit our lives and the lives of others. This is our covenant. Respetamos todos los estilos de vida dentro de su red interdependiente y trabajamos por un mundo justo y pacífico. Alentamos la búsqueda de la verdad y la comprensión total. Nos esforzamos por mantener compasión en nuestras relaciones y buscamos valores que beneficien nuestras vidas y las vidas de los demás. Este es nuestro convenio.
Thank you, Sebastian, and I envy your memory. Well, in January of 2025, I said from this pulpit, I feel like I am in a lull before a storm of unknown shape and magnitude. Well, the year continues to be challenging. You know, our minister, Tom, recently preached a sermon on meeting the moment, meeting the demands of our time when the pace feels relentless, even overwhelming. So today, we return to that theme by exploring how we can find the resilience to care for ourselves and others and make good decisions in such times. In the words of Buddhist psychologist Jack Kornfield, when times are uncertain, difficult, fearful, full of change, they become the perfect place to deepen the practice of awakening. Take time to quiet the mind and tend to the heart. Then go out and look at the sky. Remember vastness. A practice of awakening. There are so many different and inadequate words used to describe a human experience. Awakening, becoming present, grounded, finding inner peace, coming to a place of calm. Now, finding inner peace and grounding can be an invaluable anti-anxiety technique. And it also is a way of connecting to something larger than ourselves, be it the community, the universe, a life energy, if you will, but some ineffable oneness. You know, Cornfield's "Remember the Vastness" strikes a chord in me that while as human beings we hold the responsibility to repair a damaged world, tikkun olam, it's called in Judaism, this does not require us to lose our awe of nature and beauty and love that still exists and our interconnectedness to all of it. Especially in these times, we need that nourishment if we're not to give up on our responsibility to others and the planet. So ways to come into the present, to find inner peace and grounding are legion. Today, we will experience a few. I forgot to tell you, this is a very participatory service. Later in the service, we're going to invite you to the walking labyrinth or a guided seated experience, if you prefer. And before going on, I mentioned something last year, but I think it's worth repeating. In our society of multitasking and scattered attention, it's good to recall the advice attributed to Albert Einstein. If you can drive safely while kissing someone, you are not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. So, now let's give ourselves permission to let go of other things and bring all our attention to the offerings today of the sermon, the music, and what comes later, and then see what resonates inside of you. So now, please welcome Lauren Osornio, who is going to introduce us to another tool in the quest for inner peace.
Good morning, buenos dias. My late husband, Ted Englander, wrote a couple of sermons just, I don't know, because he did. And I'm here to read the second one. I read the first one a few months ago. He titled it, Seeing the Larger Picture, Seeing What Matters. But it's all about inner peace, basically. So I'm going to read it today. If you are like me, and I believe you are, then you get upset at least once in a while. By upset, I mean any negative emotion: irritated, annoyed, pissed off, aggravated, frustrated, angry, depressed, hopeless, impatient, etc. I use the word upset to stand for any and all of these negative emotions. Obviously, I don't like to be upset. It's not how I want to spend my time. I want to be happy. I want inner peace and tranquility. My guess is that you do too. I have found an affirmation that helps me to alleviate my moments of upset and allows me to feel inner peace more often. Today, I want to share this affirmation with you and explain what it means to me. My hope is that you might find benefit in it as well. It goes like this. I abide in the perfection of a loving universe. Nothing can occur by accident. Where I am in this moment must be the perfect place for me to be. How can I find the doorway to stillness within now? Where within me can I rest in peace and ask the Holy Spirit's guidance? Where in this moment am I clinging to another person or thing, where a thing can be a belief or an idea? Where am I looking upon another person or another thing in this universe and claiming it is my possession? This affirmation comes from the book, The Way of Mastery. It is a channeled book. Authors who channel books will tell you that they did not write the book they wrote. They will tell you instead that the words came to them from somewhere else. They simply act as a scribe. They do not claim authorship of the text, thus the term channeled. There are many channeled books available. What I find interesting is that all of the channeled books I have seen offer the same message, a message of love, inner peace, oneness, and joy. They each provide insights and offer wisdom about how to live a life of inner tranquility. When I first heard about channeled books, I was extremely skeptical. I could not believe in the idea of someone sitting down with pen and paper and writing for hours at a time the words that they were told to write by some source or power outside themselves. It was simply too kooky for me. While I am much less skeptical today than I was when I first heard about this phenomenon, I must admit that I still harbor some skepticism. I do not want to take time today to discuss the veracity or possibility of channeled books. Instead, I want to focus on this one affirmation. I want to share what it means to me and how I use it in my life. Over the course of my life, I have been a member of many, many groups: sports teams, family groups, work groups, church committees, school committees, therapy groups, book groups, study groups, acting groups, workshop groups, classes, travel groups, writing groups, parenting groups, discussion groups, men's groups, political groups, etc., etc. A familiar upset for me has been frustration with another group member. I bet you know exactly what I'm talking about. The person who monopolizes conversation, interrupts others, takes the group in the wrong direction, doesn't do what they should do, arrives late, ignores or dismisses what you say, stands as an obstacle to your agenda, is overly negative, or in some other way makes you wonder how much longer you want to be a member of this group, committee, or team. You may be in a group or on a committee right now with someone that fits this description. If you are, I share your pain. I have felt your upset. Let's hold this upset in our minds as we read the affirmation, and let's call the person who is the object of our annoyance or irritation Ms. or Mr. X. I abide in the perfection of a loving universe. Now, what do you hear in that sentence? That the world we live in is perfect just as it is? That this committee, that Miss X is perfect just as she is? That there is nothing in this world about this group or this committee that needs to be fixed or changed? Wow, that's a hard one to swallow. What about injustice, inequality, corruption, poverty, pollution, war, etc., etc.? There is so much wrong in the United States, in Mexico, even right here in San Miguel. There's so much wrong with Miss X. How can we possibly believe the world is perfect just as it is? How can I possibly believe that Miss X is perfect when she keeps doing so many things wrong? Listen again. I abide in the perfection of a loving universe. From a different perspective, it suggests that we have a choice. We get to choose whether we focus on the world we live in or on the universe we abide in. The world we live in or on the universe we abide in. When we choose to focus on the world we live in, we get what we see. Rights and wrongs, problems, grievances, anger, injustice, poverty. What we know is the world of form. When we focus on the universe we abide in, we appreciate what we cannot see: spirit, the eternal, the formless. When we focus on the universe, we see everything of this world as temporary and unreal. What becomes real is that we recognize that we are spirit. Even our bodies become unreal. We become larger than our bodies. Thus the expression that many of us know, I am in this world, but not of this world. We see ourselves and everyone else as part of the universe. We see that we are all one. We see that Miss X is me and I am Miss X. We see that there is no separation. We see that Miss X, like me, is doing the best that she can. We see that Miss X's body, her personality, is behaving in ways that upset me, but that is not Miss X. The real Miss X is spirit, is formless, is light, is love. This indeed is an extremely difficult concept to get. I struggle with it every day. That's why I'm talking about it here with you today. The Buddha and Jesus understood this concept. They lived it. They gave up the world of form. They gave up their cravings for worldly goods, for the material. They focused on spirit and on the inherent, intangible aspects of human beings. They understood that the human being was more than just a body, and they encouraged others to look beyond the limits of the human body, the human form. They lived and encouraged others to live in the universe of the formless, spirit, love, forgiveness, compassion, oneness. When Jesus said, "My Father and I are one," I do not believe that he was claiming to be God, but rather that he was recognizing his own essence as spiritual, as formless, as transcending the world of form. Returning to the affirmation, I abide in the perfection of a loving universe. I want to focus now on the word loving. The universe of the formless is loving. Our spirit selves are loving. This has nothing to do with the dog-eat-dog world we all know about. The world of form is indeed a harsh place, and not always loving. Miss X can truly be annoying and irritating. She really does not listen to what I have to say. This affirmation is leading us somewhere else. It's saying that the universe of the spiritual world is a safe and loving place with nothing to fear. That the real Miss X is also loving and harmless. The body form, the ego of Miss X, is difficult, but there is also a spirit of Miss X that is loving, that is light. And what about my body form, my ego that is annoyed with Mr. X? Can I remember that I too am part of the loving universe? Can I be loving? Can I be light, even when I have to deal with the annoying body form of Ms. X? The affirmation reminds us that we do not have to focus only on our daily worldly anxieties on Ms. X, because the larger universe of formlessness is loving and harmless. The affirmation reminds us that we too are part of that loving universe, that we too can be loving, that we can choose to be loving towards Mr. X. In a loving universe, there is nothing to lose or worry about. It is a message of optimism and a reminder that the universe will provide for us. The next two sentences, nothing can occur by accident, and where I am in this moment must be the perfect place for me to be, remind us that there is a higher purpose to everything that happens. Often we do not know the higher purpose. Often we must seek it, search for it, and be open to learning it. If nothing can occur by accident, and where I am in this moment must be the perfect place for me to be, why am I stuck in this group with the impossible Mr. X? How on earth is this perfect? It's really driving me crazy. The affirmation is offering a different perspective, namely, what is the perfection of a loving universe trying to teach me? What's the higher purpose here? Perhaps it is to teach me once again that my purpose in life is to be loving, or to teach me another way of doing things. Or to see that perhaps my ideas about what this committee or group should be doing are wrong, and that Mr. X is actually bringing something of worth to the group. Or perhaps the lesson is simply for me to be more tolerant and accepting. The sentence is, nothing occurs by accident, and where I am in this moment must be the perfect place for me to be. Help me change my focus away from the thing that I think I am upset about. They help me to see the larger picture and to become curious about why, on a grander scale, this thing that is upsetting me is happening to me. Rather than stay focused on the event or circumstance that is not going my way, or on Mr. X's annoying behavior, I can ask myself, what is this event trying to teach me? Or how might this event or circumstance actually be in my best interest? Whoa. Or what's the hidden blessing here? This shift in my thinking alleviates the upset or the dis-ease I was feeling. The affirmation continues, how can I find the doorway to stillness within now? Where within me can I rest in peace and ask the Holy Spirit's guidance? For me, this is where the work begins. If I want to connect with Spirit, to connect with my deepest intuition, I must find the stillness within myself. I must be still and find that deep place of peace within myself. I can only get there when I am silent. The text reminds me that in moments of upset, I find great value in slowing down, becoming still, and of course, seeking guidance. It reminds me not to act in haste and not to act alone. After we reach that place of inner stillness and peace, we can consider the first of two powerful questions this affirmation asks. Where in this moment am I clinging to another person or thing, where a thing can be a belief or an idea? I often find that the answer to this question leads to the true source of my being upset. The upset is almost always the result of my ego clinging to a belief. These beliefs are usually unconscious, and it takes effort to find them. For example, one of my ego's favorite things to get upset about is paying too much for something. Having to pay $2 at the airport for a little bottle of water can upset my ego, or finding out that I paid too much for a new car, or whatever. This upset is caused by my ego clinging to its belief that it is wrong to allow anyone to exploit me, and that it is wrong to go along with an injustice. My ego believes that it is an injustice to charge $2 for something that is only worth 80 cents. If I take time to notice this belief and how my ego is clinging to it, I have the opportunity to stop clinging. I can let go of my ego's belief and instead realize that I'm thirsty and the universe is providing me with water, and I am fortunate enough to have the $2 to pay for it. Complete strangers actually went to the trouble of bringing this water for me. The universe is indeed a loving place. I am at peace. I am suddenly grateful rather than resentful. Or in the case of my upset with Mr. X, my ego is clinging to the belief that Mr. X and I are separate, that I am right and he is wrong, that we are not one. The second powerful question the affirmation asks is, where am I looking at another person or another thing in the universe and claiming it is my possession? In the example of the airport water bottle, answering this question leads me to see that my ego is claiming the $2 in my pocket is mine and that it belongs to me. When I notice this, I can let go of my ego's claim to its possession and instead see the larger picture, one that I referred to earlier. I am living in a world where everything of form is temporary, that the $2 in my pocket is only temporarily mine, that the $2 does not belong to me, that it belongs to the world economy and is a part of an economic system that provides for billions of people, and that someday those $2 will again temporarily return to my pocket and once again provide for me. Coming and going. In the example of Ms. X, my ego is claiming that this group, this committee, this family is my possession, that it must operate by my rules. When I can see what my ego is doing, I can shift to a more peaceful view, that Ms. X is also a member of this group, that the world does not operate according to my rules, and that I do not own the group or what it does. I encourage you, in your moments of upset, both big and little, to remember the words of this affirmation, to find your place of inner peace and stillness, to ask Holy Spirit's guidance, and to transform your moments of upset into experiences of learning, growth, and oneness with the universe. Thank you.
We now enter into an important time in our service when, as a community, we can share each other's burdens and occasions for gladness. So please take a breath, settle, feel each other's presence. Every week, we light candles for what is in our hearts or minds today. And each candle we light indicates that that thought, that person is held by all of us. This is part of weaving one community over time. So to share a joy or concern, you can email our minister, Tom Rosiello, during the week, or write something on a card right before service, or type it in the Zoom chat. And please know that if you are in need of support, you may contact our minister or care team by going to our website. Now, appropriately, our first candle is one of joy for Ann Kuffner, who celebrated a major birthday this last week. She is grateful to be alive and well after spending 3/4 of a century on the earth, and she expects to keep dancing for many years to come, and is quite a dancer. Our next candle is one of love going out to Margot Johnson from all of us. Our dear friend prepares to move back to the United States, and as she does, Mis Hermanas Women's Group has made a donation to the Fellowship's Endowment Fund in her honor. Margot has been very active in the UUF over the years that she's been in San Miguel. Quite a slug. She has served as board president, vice president, chair of the nominating committee, chair of the finance committee, organizer of the members' pledge party last November, and an important member of one of the UU women's groups, Mis Hermanas. So, Margot, we wish you the best of luck on the new adventure, and we're going to miss you. Our next candle is one of gratitude to Diego and Miguel Angel, our tech team, for their expertise and artistry making possible not only these services here, but making it possible for all the Zoomers to remain part of this community. Very grateful. We have some cards that were given me this morning. From Nuba, a candle of joy. The sun is shining and I am well. I think we can all do that one. From Billy, a candle of joy for Dory's friendship and wishing her well-being on this day while she's joining us from home. A candle of concern from Quentin and Jerry for finding an apartment to rent. Where are Quentin and Jerry? Can you take a look? If you know, help them. Okay. And from Carol, prayers for Mitra, my friend from Iran who still has family there. Okay. Do we have some in chat? To please remember Oriana Wickenkamp in our thoughts and prayers as she's having surgery this week. And from Kirsten, concerns for my family and our family of pets. Thank you for any help. And our concern extends from this community to the world. So this next candle is one of huge concern for all the consequences of the Trump regime's attack on Iran. And we light our blue, not white, peace candle to hold in our thoughts all those trying to survive the violence to life and dignity in so many societies around the world, and to insist on the possibility of truly peaceful and just societies coming into being. And we light our red, white, and green candle for the people of Mexico. We light it also to hold in our hearts the persecuted Mexican immigrants and all the millions of immigrants in the United States who are in danger due to the cruel and unjust US policies. May we draw strength from this community to tolerate the pain that comes with our compassion for our suffering human family, so that we don't become paralyzed by cynicism or numbing, and we can look for what we do have the power over to do. And now a candle and moment of silence for all those joys, sorrows, and concerns that have not been voiced today but are held unspoken in our hearts. Thank you. And now, during our musical meditation offered by Lauren and our friend Almitri, you may come forward to silently light a candle of joy or concern.
Take
So beautiful, thank you. Well, you know, almost every major culture or faith tradition has a form of a movement practice. You know, labyrinths are geometrical patterns used for walking or tracing. And they've been in existence for thousands of years, used by different cultures and traditions worldwide. Now, the labyrinth is a metaphor for a journey to the center of our deepest self and back out again with a broadened understanding of who we are. A maze is a problem to be solved, and it's full of twists and turns and blind alleys. But a labyrinth is one path with no blind alleys. It can be used as a tool to unwind the mind. Now, for those who prefer a seated experience, Jeanie Seward-Magee is going to come up here and replace me at the podium shortly to share her spiritual tradition with you. But first, some instructions for the walkers. It's advisable to have in mind the technique that you'll use while walking the labyrinth that facilitates being present in the moment. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh recommends a few things. One would be just focusing on the soles of your feet as you walk, or returning to a phrase like, I am here, I have arrived. Or notice how many steps you take for each breath, or how many breaths for each step. You might simply focus on the path right in front of you, and just be careful not to gaze ahead of where you're walking. But there's no wrong way to do this, by the way, and we'll help you. So now, for those who would like to try the labyrinth, would you line up over there, and I think that line is going to extend out towards the back. See my husband Danny with the cap? He's going to be at the entrance of the labyrinth. Go line up in back of him. And for those who would like to work with Jeanie on a seated experience, stay seated or come more to the center.
My name is Jeanie, and I have been a student of Thich Nhat Hanh's now for nearly 30 years. He made me a Dharma teacher in 2011, and I have set up many Sanghas throughout the world. And we have one here in San Miguel, and we meet, and if you look at your program, you can see my email if you'd like to know more about it. Thich Nhat Hanh said, when he was writing in a book called Taming the Tiger Within, every time you feel lost, alienated, or cut off from life or the world, every time you feel anger, instability, despair, practice coming home. Mindful breathing is the vehicle that you use to go back to your true home. So I'm going to lead about a 10-minute guided meditation, and we can go back to our breath. So I suggest you put both of your feet firmly on the ground, an upright position. And the first time I went to Thich Nhat Hanh's home in France, in Plum Village, the monks said to me, Jeanie, put your hands on your belly so you can feel your breathing there. It's a reminder to come back. So I will begin with 3 sounds of the bell, and end with 2 sounds of the bell. Listen, listen to the wonderful sound of this bell, bringing me back to my true home, the present moment. Breathing in, I am aware I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, my breath grows deeper. Breathing out, I breathe more slowly. Deep, slow. Breathing in, I calm my mind. Breathing out, I breathe more easily. Calm, ease. Breathing in, I calm my mind. Breathing out, I ease my body. Calm, ease. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release all thoughts and emotions. Smile, release. Breathing in, I know this is the present moment. Breathing out, I know it is a wonderful moment. Present moment, wonderful moment. In, out. Deep, slow. Calm, ease. Smile, release. Present moment, wonderful moment. Present moment, my only moment. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your semi-guided meditation. I went to a retreat a number of years ago, and it was called The Way Out is In. And when we come back to our breath, it's sometimes the way out is in. And that's really what today's talk was all about. Thank you, everybody. Our weekly offering is our communal ritual of generosity, taking a collection for the support of our fellowship and its work. Please give joyfully as you are able. The offering will now be taken and very gratefully received.
need the support of our community to give us an invitation and permission to tend to ourselves without thinking it's selfishness. Only then can we carve the space to become quiet and centered. So may each Sunday service be an hour of the week when you allow yourself this quiet as you are held by the community in a safe place and can listen to what resonates inside of you. And maybe be inspired to change a little. As I've said before, UUs like to say, come as you are. We hope you don't leave that way. We extinguish our chalice flame, but carry the warm acceptance and love of this community with us. Now, please rise in body or spirit for our postlude hymn, number 128. It's in your hymnal. Worship has ended. Let our service begin. Go in peace, go in joy, go in love.